Hey guys, Big Red 310s here again with his Royal Rumble review, plus an Alberto Del Rio rant, plus my thoughts on 221. So yeah, let's get this over with. I will be drinking water throughout this video. I don't consider it rude because it's water. It's not like in some videos where I've seen people eating cheeseburgers or eating pizza in front of the camera, which to me I find very rude and very distasteful. But whatever. Royal Rumble. Sorry I'm late. Like I said, been really busy over the past week. That top 100 matches of the year video that I just uploaded, I filmed that shit like 5 days ago. And I just got around to uploading it now. In fact, right after this video, I'm going to tape the next All Sides of the Wrestling World because I have so much shit in that video. The Dragon Gate pay-per-views, Wrestle Kingdom, the first Noah show, Cage of Death, a WCW pay-per-view, an AIW show from last year, a bunch of stuff. But let's get into the Royal Rumble. I was going to include the Royal Rumble in that video, but then that video would have been like an hour and a half long. So let's just do this. Royal Rumble. I thought it was a good show, not a great show, but definitely good. I did really enjoy it. The Royal Rumble main event, the Royal Rumble match, I thought could have been better. I will say this: the Royal Rumble every year has to be defined by specific moments or periods. Because if it's just a bunch of guys coming in and then they brawl, and then another guy comes in and they fight, and you're just waiting for someone, then people just get eliminated haphazardly. It's a fucking 30-minute, it's a fucking hour-long battle royal. That's what it is. It's an hour-long battle royal, and I really think that unless there's a certain period of time that something happens, it's not memorable. Like in 2010, when CM Punk was doing his straight-edge savior gimmick for like 5 picks in a row. That's memorable. And then from then until Triple H getting eliminated by Shawn Michaels, I don't remember a damn thing. And then from then until like the final 5, where Shawn Michaels did this whole thing, beating up the referees, I don't remember a damn thing. So the Royal Rumble never really can have anything memorable unless there's memorable periods or memorable moments in them. That's why I did like the CM Punk Nexus thing at first. I did think it dragged. I didn't like how they eliminated Booker T. The guy was really over. You could have kept him in there for a little longer. And then the John Cena Hornswoggle thing I fucking hated. Yes, again, that's memorable, but not in a good way. And then from then on to, really, until the end, nothing was really that memorable. I remember the first, 10 pick spots. That was great. I really loved Chavo Guerrero doing all those Three Amigos and then getting a nice pop from the crowd. That was cool. Bryan Danielson and CM Punk in at number 1 and number 2. That was cool. Morrison's ridiculously amazing spot. That was cool. But, I thought it was really good, but I didn't think it was great. Every year, I usually automatically give the Rumble 4 stars, without question, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. This year, I did not. I really enjoyed it, but I thought, I don't know, there was a really long period from, I think it was from, slot number 13 to slot number 27 or something like that, with the whole CM Punk and the Nexus thing and the John Cena Hornswoggle thing, and I was just like, this is dragging. I mean, I know they had 40 guys in this year, so maybe they had 10 spots to kill, but it was dragging, and I didn't like it. And nothing really special besides, I guess, Miz eliminating Cena. And I'll get to the winner, obviously, but I don't really think the Rumble was anything amazing. I definitely thought previous years were better, and so that's why I didn't give it such a high rating. I still really enjoyed it, but I thought it could have been a lot better. Now the winner, Alberto Del Rio. Now, if you looked at my Twitter, I said that everyone was saying Alberto was going to win, and I didn't really feel he had enough momentum because he was cutting promos on these wrestlers every single week, but it was like he wasn't really involved in a main event situation building up to the Royal Rumble. He was at the 9:30 slot every Raw or on SmackDown, just saying his promo, fighting a mid-card wrestler, and moving on. Heels do that every year. I mean, I didn't really think that this was that much drive behind him to win. I personally thought Morrison had much more momentum because he was in the main event of Raw for the month of January. He had this whole thing with The Miz, his thing with Orton and Lawler. You know, he was a mid-carder as well, but I felt like he had a better chance. Like the thing with him, Daniel Bryan, and Sheamus, I thought that was because Sheamus is kind of borderline main event mid-carder by this point. That being included in the program, I thought he had a little more momentum than Del Rio did, and I thought he had a better chance of winning. I was wrong, but I did think Cena was going to win. My second choice was Punk. I was really upset when Cena just buried Punk like that. Not buried, but buried the Nexus, that's for sure. It was You've been building the storyline since late December. You've been building it for the past 5 weeks. And it just ends like that. Cena eliminates him from the Royal Rumble. Boom, CM Punk is moving on to Randy Orton. I really legitimately believed Cena and Punk could have main evented WrestleMania. They could have. They had the build. They had the great storyline to do it. I'm really upset that WWE just threw that all away. Punk Orton, I don't want to see that. I don't like Randy Orton. And not that Cena is the star caliber wrestler, but I really didn't want to see that match. I really want to see Punk in that main event Mania program that he so rightfully deserved. So I was kind of upset the way they just threw it away like that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on my Rumble match. Very happy that Del Rio won. Very happy. I'll get into my Del Rio rant later. But yeah, he won. It's new. It's different. I like it. Good job, WWE. Good job. Much better than Cena or Orton winning. Alright, that was the Rumble match. I give it 3 3/4. The women's match, I thought was alright. I didn't think it was that bad. Fatal 4-way women's matches are better than normal singles women's matches. I don't know why. I just always thought they were. I gave this like a star, 3/4, 2 stars. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. Eve's a new champion. Don't know why. Natalya, I thought, was doing a decent job as champion. She's not that great on the mic, but really, women's wrestling, we're concerned with mic work. We barely care about ring work. I mean, for fuck's sake. And I'm kind of upset that they took the title off her, but it's Eve. Not a big deal. I don't really care. John Cena, Randy Orton versus The Miz. I thought this was alright. I can't give it 3 stars. I'm sorry. I really wanted to, but I can't. I have to give it 2 3/4. I thought it was a decent match. Barely good. Just it was too slow in some parts. I was watching the show with my dad and my brother. And my dad just like, boom, completely lost interest with the pay-per-view. After that match, he went to his room and didn't see the rest of the show. He saw it eventually, like over the next few days, but he didn't want to see it anymore. He was so tired after that match, he just wanted to go to sleep. And me and my brother just saw the rest of the pay-per-view, and we weren't entertained by the match either. I was on Twitter, looking at Twitter. I saw the match. I was just like, this isn't that good. I'm not enjoying this. So whatever. I gave it 2 3/4. I thought it was all right. They had a nice little thing at the end. I did not like CM Punk coming in because, again, I do not like this program between CM Punk and Randy Orton. And I really thought they should have given Miz a clean win here. I mean, really, this match had almost no build to it, none, because they were building to see Miz Morrison, and then they had this Miz Orton thing. It's not that big of a deal. Orton was going to be in the Rumble anyway. You really couldn't have Miz just get the clean win. I mean, come on, man. They're really this is what I think. When everyone says, oh, wins and losses don't matter anymore, I always say, bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Because if wins and losses didn't matter, WWE wouldn't be so goddamn petrified to have Cena or Orton lose clean. And I mean fucking petrified to have these guys lose clean. Look at the shit they've done with Orton with the past 2 months. He is unfucking touchable. So yes, I think that argument is terrible when people say, oh, but wins and losses don't matter anymore. Maybe for the mid-carders, but Cena and Orton never lose, and like, good God, are they so afraid to have them lose clean? So I don't want to hear that argument that wins and losses don't matter in any of the WWE, because it's just not true. And so I really thought he should have gone over clean here. That kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Really, he's going to main event WrestleMania, and he's going to be a very weak champion. He's borderline Jack Swagger level. Not that bad, but borderline. His only clean win was over John Morrison. They make fun of him every week, saying that you're not a good enough champion. You're not good enough to be maining WrestleMania. John Cena cuts promos on him all the time, saying he's a weak champion. How is it supposed to get me excited for him versus John Cena? Because it doesn't. It doesn't. So yeah, 2 3/4. That could have been so much better. And the opener. And I went in reverse order for a specific reason. The opener, I thought this was really, really good. Like, I really enjoyed this. This reminded me a lot of Edge's title defenses in 06, 07, were like very fast-paced. I'm a little slow towards the beginning, then picked up the speed in the middle, then a lot of nice near falls towards the end. Such a beautifully built match. I really did like it. In fact, in my opinion, this is the 3rd best Royal Rumble non-title title match over the past 10 years. It actually could be 3rd best Royal Rumble non-Royal Rumble match over the past 10 years. I put it behind 2 matches. I put it behind John Cena versus Umaga from Royal Rumble 2007, which I thought was really great. And I put it behind, obviously, the greatest match in Royal Rumble history, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. Yeah, title matches. Now, if it's non-Royal Rumble matches, I guess Benoit Jericho would be number 2. Benoit Angle would be number 1. Cena Umaga, I'd probably still have a number 3. And then maybe down at number 4, I'd have Edge and Ziggler. Is there a match I'm missing? Someone remind me. But I thought Edge Ziggler was better than Jericho and The Rock from 2002. But yeah, I thought this was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this. 3 3/4, not quite 4. So close. I was so close to call this great. But this match put a really good taste in my mouth. Ziggler didn't win, which I honestly didn't think he should have won. He was built worse than The Miz. He was built terribly in his run to the match with Edge. So I didn't think he should have won at all, like some people were thinking. Plus, I didn't think he should have been champion going into WrestleMania. He's not ready for that. I mean, people are going to misinterpret that, but he's not built to that level yet. I mean, Miz isn't either, but Miz is at least built more so than Ziggler is. I mean, good God. So they made Ziggler look like a fucking chump over the past few weeks. Orton completely just destroying this guy 2 weeks in a row for no reason, even though they have no fight. I mean, they don't have a match against each other at the pay-per-view. I didn't get that either, but I thought it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Kelly stuff was kind of weird, but 3 3/4 definitely. Overall, I'd give the show a 7.25 or 7.5. 2 really good matches. Although the Royal Rumble, while it was really good, was kind of underwhelming for me. All right women's match. I didn't think it was that bad, and an all right Randy Orton Miz match left a bad taste in my mouth. So unfortunately, I'm going to go 7.25, I feel. Because although I did like the Royal Rumble main event, I did think that it was a little underwhelming for a Royal Rumble match. There was a lot of stuff I liked. I really liked those first 15 minutes were great. I loved it. I might actually give this a 7.5 just for those first 15 minutes. I don't know. I will admit this, though. Before this match, I kind of had no idea what they were going to do for Mania. Like, I knew some of the matches they wanted. I knew they wanted Del Rio Edge. I knew they wanted Cena Miz. I knew they wanted Taker Barrett or Nexus Core. I knew that they wanted it, but I was just like, there's been no build towards any of this so far. Where are the seeds planted for any of this stuff? And I feel out this pay-per-view, they didn't introduce these seeds very well. They introduced the Nexus Core stuff very well. The Cena Miz stuff, the Del Rio Edge stuff, a lot of good stuff. But even though I may not like what they're doing necessarily with Orton Punk and a bunch of other stuff, they still introduced those seeds. So I might just give it a 7.5 just for that. And now we get to our Alberto Del Rio rant. Alright guys, a while back I did a video called Shut Up About the Miz. And in this half video, I'm going to call it Shut Up About Del Rio. On Twitter, after Del Rio won the Rumble, a very, very, very good friend of mine that I've known for almost 2 years now on this community wrote, I'll say his name, Taker Fan for Life, 1419, wrote, Del Rio wins. Horrible decision as far as I'm concerned. And I was shocked by this. I'm like, all right. And then a lot of other people were posting something. And I'm going to read you word for word what some guy said. He said, I hope that Santino would have won the Rumble because at that point, maybe Santino could have won the Rumble because at least he's won a title before. That right there, whether sarcastic or not, that right there is the definition of a stupid wrestling fan. Yes, I said it. I've never been this much of a dick. I've never outright called people idiots on my videos because I hate their opinion. But that is the definition of a stupid wrestling fan who really has no idea what the fuck is going on. Because even the casual of all casual fans, understand that Del Rio is still much higher than Santino, even if he hasn't won a title. I don't get this whole fervor that, oh my God, he didn't win a championship. He's never won a championship. He's only been in the company for 6 months. This is a travesty. He's main eventing WrestleMania. Let me say for one, he's not going to main event WrestleMania. He'll be like 4th from the top, 5th from the top, 3rd from the top. Look at Edge and Jericho last year. Was that anywhere near the main event of WrestleMania? Of the big 4 matches last year, that was number 4 as far as importance goes. Edge and Del Rio will not be the last match on the show. Now, with NYJ and New York Giants for life, I always forget what his actual username is. He said, of all the Royal Rumble winners since 1993, Del Rio is probably the weakest. I would agree with that. I wouldn't totally... That I can agree with. But that doesn't mean he still wasn't totally ready to win the Rumble. The guy has been pushed very well since his debut. I think the problem is a lot of people don't watch SmackDown, and so Del Rio wins, and they just view him as another SmackDown mid-carder. But look, Del Rio has been pushed very well since his debut. He come in his first fucking day and beats Rey Mysterio clean in the middle of the ring. One of SmackDown's top stars, boom, right there in the middle of the ring. And then he goes on. He never gets delegated to the mid-card. He feuds with Ray. He had that whole thing. He already had that world title match at TLC. He's been built very well. They've never have yet to fuck him up, except that one thing where Shawn Michaels kicked him in the face, which again, I didn't think was that bad. And I don't think and there were some people that didn't even think that was that bad. Some people just view that more as, hey, WWE cares him enough to put him in a segment with Shawn Michaels, because they weren't just going to put Santino Marella in the ring with Shawn Michaels. I still didn't like it, but I can kind of understand. And so he's been built very well, has not been fucked up, and he comes in and wins the Rumble. How is this wrong? And I've heard people say, oh, I wish Kofi Kingston or Drew McIntyre. Why? Because they've won the Intercontinental title? That makes them more worthy to win the Royal Rumble than Alberto Del Rio? That makes no fucking sense. I'm going to tell this right now to all these people. I'm not going to call them idiots, because some of them are my friends and they're very knowledgeable. These people who say, hey, man, he's never won a title. He's unworthy. These mid-card titles, I'm telling you this right now, these mid-card titles mean jack shit. Jack shit. If anything, Del Rio is above those titles by this point. If you give Del Rio the Intercontinental title over the past few months, he would be relegated just a notch below where he already is. These mid-card titles mean nothing. So you're saying if Del Rio had 2 Intercontinental Championship title reigns, that definitely would have made him more worthy to win the Rumble? For sure, bro. Fuck no. They add nothing to your credibility as far as being a main eventer goes. He's been pushed very well. He's been a stable upper mid-carder over the past few months. They have yet to fuck him up. And you know what? They did a good job. They made an upper mid-carder win. One of my gripes with the Royal Rumble is, over the past 4 fucking years, we've had already main eventers, most of whom have already main evented WrestleMania, winning the Royal Rumble. We had Edge already main evented WrestleMania. Orton had already... Actually, in 2008, WrestleMania 24, he was going to be the main event. I guess they just switched him with Taker Edge for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm going to count that, main eventing WrestleMania. John Cena, oh my god, yes. Taker, several times. So really, it's so much, I thought that was so much bullshit. Royal Rumble used to be about elevating guys. You look back at 2003, where Benoit won the Rumble. Boom, that guy had been pushed as an upper mid-carder, had a nice feud with Brock Lesnar, was on the cusp of being a main eventer, not quite there yet, wins the Rumble. Yay, Benoit! Batista had that whole thing with Triple H, was on the cusp of being a main eventer, not there yet, close, very close, but not there yet, wins the Royal Rumble. Yay, Batista! Rey Mysterio. I wouldn't even say an upper mid-carder. I guess. Mid-carder to upper mid-carder, not really at that main event level, just barely there, wins Rumble. Yay, Ray! Fucking God, man. What does it matter that a guy is not... Why these titles have to make him worthy? These stupid, pointless titles that the WWE does not care about. Why do they make someone automatically more worthy to win the Rumble? I'm pretty sure Wade Barrett, in his first fucking few months, won no titles and was main eventing Survivor Series, main eventing TLC, main eventing bragging rights, main eventing pay-per-views left and right. Why does it matter if he's won a title or not? Good Lord Jesus, it makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry, it makes no sense. You're either credible or you're not. Doesn't matter if you've had a previous history of winning the Intercontinental title. All that matters is right now. That is all that matters. And for people to say, oh, but... So you're saying if Wade Barrett would have won the Royal Rumble, who I would say was a main eventer over the past few months, maybe not necessarily now, but definitely November, December, October, yes, he was a main eventer, and you're saying that if he won the Royal Rumble, oh, it would have been unworthy because he's yet to win one of these bullshit titles. It makes no sense. You people are stupid. Fuck, I'm going to say it. It makes no sense. At all. Like, at all. They say he's not worthy to win the Rumble because he's never been an Intercontinental Champion or Tag Team Champion. Who cares? Another thing is, oh, he's too new. Brock Lesnar was in the WWE for 6 months before he won the Royal Rumble. I don't care if he's a former WWE Champion before then. In the WWE for 6-7 months before he won the Royal Rumble. So don't give me that, oh, he's too new. He hasn't paid his dues. That's what someone else said. He hasn't paid his dues in WWE. That's even more retarded. Good Lord Jesus. Look, you seriously think when Sheamus was champion, he had fully paid his dues? Do you seriously think that it's better for Del Rio's career as a whole to have been stuck in the mid-card for 2 years, having no direction, like a lot of these mid-card guys right now, then suddenly be pushed, and then boom, be a main eventer? No. C-Dude9590 made a good point a while back. This was a while back. When I was doing my Book the Push contest, he said, have any of these guys who are pushing WWE mid-carders, have they booked a storyline that says, this guy goes away for 6 months, does something, and then comes back. Because a lot of these WWE mid-carders have been obliterated to the point beyond credibility for most of these fans that we can't take them seriously as main eventers. We really can't. It happened with Swagger for a while. It's happening with Kofi Kingston little by little. It happened with McIntyre already. The guy's lost fucking left and right. This whole period of being stuck in the mid-card does not help guys. Yes, I understand they can be elevated little by little, but that's when they're built properly, and that was when the WWE cared about their mid-card division. They clearly don't now. If WWE truly cared and built these guys little by little as they climbed up the ladder, boom, it would be fine. But if they're just stuck in the mid-carder for an entire year and a half, no one cares about them. And that's the sad fact of wrestling today. No one cares about them. As Trueslayer said a while back, probably 30% of the roster, 25% is over at this point. I mean, really. These guys don't care about these mid-card guys. So being stuck in there for a while does nothing but damage to the wrestler's credibility. The guy's been built since day fucking one in this company, and he's here. I'm so sorry that he hasn't paid his dues, even though he's been paying his dues in wrestling promotions and in wrestling in general for probably the past 10, 15 years. But just because he hasn't paid his dues, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. All right? He was the number 1 or number 2 mid-carder in the company, upper mid-carder. I say that highly, upper mid-carder. They cared about his push. They've protected him. They've built him very well. Boom. Now he's winning the Rumble. Everything's fine and dandy. But no, everyone's saying, oh, he doesn't deserve it. Fuck you. Seriously. Your logic makes no sense. I've yet to meet one person who's presented a well-reasoned argument why Del Rio winning the Rumble was a horrible, horrible decision. Really, I don't get it. I think it's very stupid. I don't understand it at all. I don't know what to say. He's been pushed very well. He's transferring himself in the main event where he rightfully belongs. He has everything they like. He's amazing on the mic. He has great charisma. He has the best fucking facials in the business right now, I would say. In the business, he has the best facials. He's got a good look. His ring work is good. It's not great. It could be better, but it's still good. He put on a lot of really good matches with Ray. So really, I don't get this point. This is what wrestling fans like. This is what we live for. Somebody new. And this is what I hate the most. This is what myself and what Instant Classic 8 were saying on Twitter. If John Cena or Triple H had won the Rumble, it would have been like, oh, same old bullshit, same old bullshit. Why can't we get something new? Well, you got something new and you still don't like it. You guys are never, ever happy. No matter what they do, you guys will never, ever be happy. And I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. The real one, it's a great decision. And until you provide me with a well-reasoned argument, you're not doing well. And the guy who said that thing about Santino, I still say that again, stupid wrestling fan. I'm just saying that right there. Sorry, these people make me mad. I was going to do this video days ago, but I didn't finish the Ziggler match. I saw the last 2 minutes of it during the actual Royal Rumble. It wasn't until like a few days ago where I finally sat down and saw the whole match. All right, that was my Alberto Del Rio rant. And now let's go to 221. Apparently, from what I've heard, the plan was never supposed to be Sting. It was always supposed to be The Undertaker. But due to the incredible hype and buzz that there is about Sting, the WWE, I've heard, is actually considering signing Sting and making that whole video about Sting. And that would be pretty great. I really, really, really would look forward to Sting in the WWE. Now, Sting Undertaker, as far as the dream match goes. I mean, right there, buddy. Yeah, I'm a Undertaker fan. Undertaker is the reason I became a wrestling fan. Many, many years ago, back in 01, 02. But Sting, I didn't watch WCW as a kid because I wasn't born. I've seen a lot of WCW now. Like, what you guys see the WCW pay-per-views I've done. I've seen Sting in TNA. I've seen Sting's matches with Flair and the whole bunch in the 80s and 90s. I know a lot about Sting. And I really like Sting. But to me, I don't know why, the more bigger dream match to me was Sting versus Shawn Michaels. I don't know if we've ever seen that. I don't think we have. Well, yeah, I know we haven't. That to me just felt like a little bit of a bigger deal. I get Sting Undertaker because the whole gimmick, you know, the Scorpion gimmick in WCW when he was in '97, when he did that entire year going against the NWO, and he finally fights them in the end. Undertaker, the Dark Avenger, the Dark Passenger, whatever. I'm sorry that I'm using Dexter terms here. I totally get that clash right there. But to me, I'm talking about the salt and pepper haircut Sting from the late 80s, early 90s, and even some of the Sting and TNA because they kind of had the same personality. That versus Shawn Michaels to me was a personal dream match of mine. Now I get it, don't Sting versus the Undertaker. That's a big fucking deal. Don't worry about it. I totally understand why that's a dream match, and I'm very excited if that match actually does happen. And I think a lot of people are really excited. No one thinks the match is going to be very good. I personally don't think the match will be great at all. I think they'll tell a great story because they're both very intelligent wrestlers, but I don't think the match will be anything like amazing, but we all still really want to see it. And it would really make WrestleMania this year feel special. It'll make WrestleMania feel really, really special this year. And I think that is what they're looking for. So I'd be really excited to see Undertaker versus Sting. I would love it a lot. If it doesn't happen, hey, it doesn't happen. I personally think what's going to happen is whether they sign Sting or not, they're going to they might show the promo, and Undertaker might come, make his return to the ring, come in the ring, and then like they'll do another vignette for Sting or something like that. That I think will work best. But yeah, I'd be really excited if it was Sting. I'd be really happy to see Sting versus The Undertaker. That's what I guess a lot of people in modern days dream matches. So yeah, I'm going to be filming All Sides of Wrestling World right now actually. Yeesh, that's going to put a wear on me. But yeah, and that was my Royal Rumble review. That was a pretty good show. I thought it was better than last year's. I really didn't like last year's Royal Rumble. And I thought it was actually better than the year before's too. But, you know, while I was griping about the Royal Rumble match, it's still the Royal Rumble match. It's still so much fun. It's still the reason I buy the pay-per-view. It's still something very enjoyable. So, there you go with that. And a really good world title match. Just like so much good on that show. But then there was also that WWE title match, which I thought could have been good, but not quite. And then women's title match, which I thought was a better women's title match than normal. So yeah, 7.5 for me. They built WrestleMania well. Even if I don't like what they're doing necessarily, they still built it. So yeah, figure at 310. I'm out. And yeah, that's it. We'll look for my All Sides Wrestling World video on Monday or Tuesday. Look for top 100 match of the year by Thursday. Figure at 310. Bye.